Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Gabestah here. Today we are looking at the Fast Break achievement as part of the Mastery series for Heart of the Swarm. This achievement requires that you complete the Conviction mission in less than 10 minutes on hard difficulty. So this is a pretty easy achievement, and the basic build for it doesn't matter a whole lot, just whatever you're comfortable with for Kerrigan. So you can see on screen the build I went with. I really like Kinetic Blast and Crushing Grip. You obviously don't need any economy stuff because there's no base building in this one. So I grabbed the Zergling Reincarnation, even though I don't think it does anything. Same with Malignant Creep. I like Mend as well, and then Infest Broodlings I think is really handy to just offer some barrier to your enemies. For the army, again, it's whatever you're comfortable with. So you can see the choices I made here. You don't get some of these units anyway. They just won't be given to you, but those that are will gain the benefits of whatever you chose for upgrades. So I mostly want survival stuff because between that and my heals, I can do quite a bit of DPS with the various Zerg units that I'm given in the mission. So let's rewind and we'll get started. So since this is all about speed and time, you basically just have to make great use of your ability to keep your army alive as much as possible and maximize your use of energy with Kerrigan so that she can do the majority of the healing and damage that your army can't do. So you're going to spend a lot of time just spamming heal, or mend rather, on everything that's near you. Don't be afraid to move units back to you slightly to mend them up just for a moment. And if you have the Broodlings in your build, they will soak up a lot of damage. As long as Kerrigan is constantly attacking, there's almost always going to be a pair of Broodlings spawning, every second or two. And those help a lot to just provide a barrier between your army and the enemy. And then standard stuff for the ability use here. So I use Kinetic Blast on the tank in that situation. Careful your pathing there. I thought the way out was down the bottom, which obviously it wasn't. Now when you get infestors, try to make good use of them. It's not necessary, but it will be, helpful. And they're really the only thing that you have to worry about microing other than Kerrigan. So you might want to hotkey those to a different hotkey. And consume on Broodlings when they're going to expire anyway is a great way to get energy back. So this section here, like when you don't have a Kerrigan, this is a great time to charm any of the Terran enemies that you can with the Infestor and just get some extra. So I'm trying to grab most of my non-Infestor units in one group so my Infestors won't run up in front. I grabbed a medic there just to see if it would work, and it does. So I don't think he lasts very long, but he's handy for a while. This wave, there isn't much that's worth grabbing, in my opinion. I like the big mechanical units, the beefier ones that will live a while. And the pattern is always the same for the waves where they come in at, so try to have your army positioned ahead of time or just as soon as that indicator shows up on your map. Make sure they're at the choke point, because if the army gets out into this room rather than at the choke, it's a lot more difficult. So this last one, there's a Thor in the back, and it makes it perfect to grab because he won't be attacked right away. And once you finish the waves, you push through with Kerrigan. Just keep going to the northeast. Don't go up to the secret document area up there. Remember to use Kinetic Blast on bunkers. This is a general rule in every mission really, but this is no exception. You won't quite one-shot them, but you will set them on fire. And then your army only has to do a little damage from that point. Now, since speed is the name of the game here, you don't really have time to infest these positions, and even if you did, they would barely move forward before you were trying to clear through yourself. So just try to take advantage of your army. Don't rush in there, but just attack at range. Get those broodlings to soak up a lot of the damage. You can blast that Thor really quick. Use fungal growths if you have extra energy on your infestors. And don't be afraid to skip things either. You don't have to kill that bunker or anything down there. So you don't want to rush through just for the sake of getting ahead and then having everything die. But if nothing's going to die and you can just skip things, then you may as well. So you get another infestor and some zerglings here. And again, I'm just trying to focus on healing things up as much as possible on cooldown pretty much. And this room, you want to make sure you take out the tanks quickly with Kerrigan. So you can kinetic blast one and stun the other usually. Or it just gets taken out anyway. If you have the vile roaches, they're really good at lowering DPS of tough creatures. So if your micro is strong, you can throw a roach onto a tank and it'll attack 75% slower. A couple more Thors. Try to charm these if you have enough energy. I think I only had... I almost got the second one, but not quite. Not a big deal. You can see I've got tank, a couple Thors. I think there's another tank up here that you can grab soon. So, helps out. And abominations are really strong. I think they're pretty much underutilized in all the campaign missions. I like them a lot. Yeah, there was the elite tank that we picked up. But because they're kind of like Colossus, where they can walk over some of the lower units. So it's great for when you want to clump up your army a bit better. They also are pretty beefy. They tank well. So not quite as good as Ultras, but still. Try to keep your abominations alive is what I'm saying. So we got more tanks. I was able to charm the higher health one on the right there. And you want to make sure you unsiege when you grab a tank, because otherwise it'll just stand there in siege mode and long to be part of your army. I generally will use my area of effect stun from Kerrigan on big groups, and if that's not up, if it's on cooldown, then I'll use my heal with the kinetic blast in between on any big units that happen to be in the area. So this final room, just blast those tanks first as soon as you can, or charm them. And that's it. So pretty much just moving as much as you can and taking advantage of your abilities, and you're able to get it. So 40 seconds to spare, basically. Not too close. Anyway, that is the fast break achievement. So good luck, and thanks for watching.